Hello everyone, this is KIDM the Man bringing you all another figure review of the very confusing release of the Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection in Space Silver Ranger. First off, I would like to thank you all for checking out my live stream where I unboxed this figure and gave it a long unedited review. As for those of you who missed it, you can still check it out on the channel and let me know if you want more live stream reviews just like that. I would also like to thank Edwin CKM on Facebook for helping me to get this figure he was selling in which he got from China. I was able to reach out to him, bought one unit, wait for the product to get to Malaysia from China, and then wait for him to forward it to my address. So yes, there was plenty of waiting, but I kept you all waiting long enough, so let's take a closer look at Zhane along with his accessories. For my first impression of this figure, I thought he was very shiny. He's so shiny, in fact, that I don't think we ever received a Lightning Collection figure just like Zhane. It may look like it's made of a translucent plastic, but it's actually made of a pearlescent silver type of plastic, which gives him that silver shine, which is very nice. Perhaps we might get the same for our metallic armor white ranger. With the standard male body mold, it's not like it's something we've seen before in other Lightning Collection figures. The helmet itself is nicely painted, as you can clearly see that there's a nice shiny gold paint that was used along with the black paint of the visor. I also noticed that there's actually no sculpting for the visor pattern during my live stream, and that the paint on the visor is actually printed on using the classic Hasbro inkjet technology. The only sculpting here would be the ear vents, just like the other Space Rangers. With the inkjet technology, the gold paint on the helmet itself is smoothly painted on. Other than that, the entirety of the helmet is pretty much standard. You have the glossy black on the forehead window, while you have the semi-glossy black paint on the visor. The mouthplate, however, does look like a different shade when comparing to the rest of the helmet's silver. What was once yellow but now gold on Zhane is the collar triangle. Sadly, mine wasn't printed on properly as it is not centered. Maybe if it was sculpted in, the paint would have been more aligned. As for his chest paint, however, it's pretty great. Despite not having the grid lines in the green boxes, it does look quite centered and I can live with that. One thing to take note of is that the gold paint on the figure might chip off over time. Although Hasbro might have put on a coating, the areas that will be manhandled often, which is the entirety of the figure, will probably chip off if you're not careful. This includes the cuffs of the forearm as it is not sculpted in, along with the boots, which is in the same situation. It is nicely painted though. As for the belt of the figure, it's a new mold. Hasbro could have taken a shortcut in using the ones with the holster, but that would have made the fans angry due to the laziness. It is painted in a different shade of gold, however, unless I'm wrong, and is actually a gold colored soft rubber belt. I really can't emphasize this enough. The pearlescent body plastic looks amazing and it definitely screams out Silver Ranger. Hopefully Merrick gets the same treatment. If you look at it long enough, it might look translucent, but it really isn't. Overall, I'm really liking this figure, mainly because of the choice of plastic to bring out that silver shine. Come to think of it, this might be our first Silver Ranger ever to be released in the Lightning Collection, and Hasbro is starting off strong. I would however prefer to have the gold paint looking like it's a chrome type of gold though. He does come with weapon holding hands, a fist, karate chop hand, the super silverizer in blast mode, the super silverizer in blade mode, a yellow twirling effect piece, and his head. For Zhane's civilian head, it's sculpted on nicely. Hasbro decided to go with a smirk look, which is nice since we're getting a more serious looking face in the Versus 2 pack with TJ and Psycho Silver. Some people might call it the Jay Leno face, but I don't see it. If you do, forget about it. The hair on him is of a blondish white color with a hint of yellow, so it's not fully white. If we take a closer look at his face, I'm sure you'll agree with me that they really did a good job with the sculpting. Same goes for the multiple strands of hair too. As for the Super Silverizer, the blaster mode looks amazing. Now I can't really tell what kind of plastic base color was used, but I can't tell you that they did not skip out on the paint as the entire weapon is painted on with black and silver. Not to mention, the silver here is really shiny too. For the Super Silverizer in blade mode, it's casted entirely on a new mold. The same type of paint was used here where the black is nice and glossy. As with every Lightning Collection weapons, the paint might chip off if you're not careful. The main difference here would be the silver piece holding the blade has been moved so we don't get a blaster hole at the tip of the weapon. Instead, we get a translucent light blue blade. Perhaps the entire weapon is made of that plastic. To put the effect piece in, you just gotta find an opening in all of that mess and carefully slide the blade in. You could use lube if that's tight, but I'd rather just twist and rotate the effect piece to get it in deeper. Now you can have Zhane slashing his opponents. Since the weapon handle is in the middle, you may have to put on the weapon holding hands a little bit differently, seeing as the forearm has to be in the hole of the weapon. The handle of the weapon is flat, so just slide the piece in the gap of the hands. Once that's done, you're gonna have to pry the fingers off the hand just so you can have it grab the weapon. Take your time as you don't have a lot of room for your own fingers to move around, but once you get it right, you're probably not gonna ever want to remove them from the weapon ever again. Both hands are interchangeable, so you can use the same technique on the second weapon. Make sure to move the joint to the center so as to make the insertion easier. Just slowly push it in as you don't want to break it using too much force. Lastly, for the head, I would make the helmet look up as far as it can go. Then I'll push the chin upwards to pop off the helmet head. Now that we're here, you can see that the neck is painted on nicely since the plastic is the pearlescent silver. Oh yeah, you can now easily snap on the head of Zhane on the figure, which I gotta say, he looks rather dashing with that smirk. You can pose Zhane with any of the in-space figures that you have and he'll look as he did in the show, just like the time he fought with Astronomer, I think. Here he is next to the Void Knight basic figure, the Figurized Standard Kamen Rider Decade, the 6.5-inch Legacy Collection Andros, and a 1/44 scale Gundam. So all in all, this Zhane figure is really awesome. With the pearlescent silver plastic, the figure just stands out along with the rest of the Rangers. You get two different weapons perfect for any combat situation, and his dashing head sculpt ready for a date with Astronomer. Only thing left to ask here is, how does he look on the shelf? So if you like this video, blast that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know if you would get this figure after watching the review, share this video with your friends who might be debating on whether is he worth the scalper's pricing, and consider subscribing. I post a variety of content on the channel and it will really help me reach my channel goal to get to 2,000 subs by the end of the year. This is KIDM the Man, and I'll see you all next time.